Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, the 13th. Which, I don't care, I'll say that. I left my phone at home this morning. And if I'd had my phone, I would have known it was Friday, the 13th. I didn't realize that till afterwards. Okay, so today, or the rest of this morning, or however short or long we want to talk. We have, after today, we have 3 weeks left till crossover. Crossover, I think, is March 14th this year, 10th. And it's the last week after we get back from town meeting break. So we have 2 weeks. Then we have town meeting break, and then we have 1 week. So anything that we're going to get out, anything that is a priority, anything we want to do unrelated to any of the Senate bills that may or may not be coming our way, we need to finish in the next 3 weeks. So it's time to talk about what we want to do. If there's anything pressing that anyone really, really wants to take up, now is the time to speak. And we'll see if we can fit it in. So Hopper, Daisy, and I have been discussing kind of what we think. So I'm going to present it to everybody, and a lot of this is based upon a couple weeks ago when we did priorities, and I know that we've had some bills come in since that time that we haven't really talked about, but just sort of grounding us on the limited time that we have left and what we can accomplish, because we cannot accomplish everything. Just gotta be okay with that. Okay. So we have 585, which is the bill from the Department of Financial Regulation. If you remember, we've just been referring to it as Hopper's bill. There were lots of things in there. Topper and I have been having conversations with the Department of DFR, trying to kind of hone in on where we want to go with it. We're probably going to be working on some new language and getting that ready, and then we'll take that back up. Hopefully next week, we'll have something in place. I think Thursday, Tasha, Thursday afternoon. Complicated even more. We actually don't have Thursday morning of next week. So that limits our time a little bit additionally. So we have 585, and we really want to move on that.
Where is that right now?
It's here. I got it right now.
Okay, well, I've got a copy of it too.
And we've done a fair amount of testimony already on that. Remember, that was the one that we did like 3 separate days.
Yep.
Jen had to come in and do
Yeah,
walkthroughs of
okay,
multiple.
so, but then we kind of stopped it. So it's
We
just.
stopped it. We didn't stop it. We've been in collaboration with DFR.
And the agency.
And the agency
Okay.
human services. Absolutely. So. Okay, so we've got that.
I got positive.
What do you need?
I didn't hear you, I'm sorry. Positive emails.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, good.
Yeah.
Do you want me to forward that stuff? Is that something?
Is it coming to just you, or is it coming to House Healthcare? Usually when people send things, they'll send to like the whole committee.
Yeah, because I don't think I would sneak out.
Tasha. I just realized today, Tasha is actually not on our House Healthcare email group. So typically when people
It just added.
They added you. Okay. So usually when we get any kind of public comment or written testimony, it goes to Tasha and Tasha posts it on our website. So,
If you think it's important, that
yeah,
we all know about it,
and you can tell it just came to you, absolutely forward it. Okay. All right. So we are taking today testimony on, I cannot remember the bill number.
558.
558,
Which is,
which is having to do with school-based services.
Wait.
And this is sort of this is a real priority for the administration.
oh, the Medicaid school-based services.
Yeah.
one. Okay, yeah.
And if you remember, we did hear something when they were giving budget testimony about how they're moving something from, I think, AOE to DIVA. And we're gonna hear about that today. So it's
Printed out. I don't have it. It's on your desk.
did you send,
I have a copy on my desk.
Oh, I didn't.
was this it? It's Bailey V?
Five.
I'll go with yours. Just like this.
I can print you a copy.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that one. Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah,
I'm just-
I don't know the answer probably, but people
No, well, you may or you may not. I'm just wondering about the ed committee response to this bill, or do we hear from them, or? I haven't seen it. We'll do the walkthrough. Of course, I haven't read
It
it.
was referred to our committee, so we haven't even done a walkthrough yet.
Okay.
We'll
Talk about that then.
We'll talk about that then.
Okay.
All right, so we also, next Friday, I've asked Brian and Daisy, because we had 3 bills come in.
There's actually 4.
Oh, okay, 4.
There's 4 AI bills.
Are only 3 in our committee?
No, they're all on there.
They're all on there? So next Friday, Jen and Katie, because Jen's done some, Katie's done the other, they're gonna give us walkthrough on all of them.
What's those numbers?
I'm not, I can't.
The numbers are 644, 814, and 816.
644.
814, 816. And all 3 of those have chatbots, which is why we were gonna do those as a cluster. There is one that is 776 that talks about the finance of healthcare system, AI, and we can look at that later, but we had chosen the 3 chatbot ones to go in the same day with the neural writings and all that.
And I think next Friday, we're just gonna get an overview of like what any of it even means, because if you're like me,
How did they?
we'll find out next Friday. Okay, so next Friday, we'll take up testimony on the 3 AI bills that we've got.
And I just confirmed with Jen that the 4th one fits into one of those, but we'll come back to that another time because we don't want to do too much in one day.
Yeah, and we're just getting an introduction to the topic next Friday. What a way to send you home on. We
It'll
have,
be exciting at least.
so the 3 of us have sort of prioritized. When we did our original priorities, one of the bills that was highlighted by multiple people is the emergency examiner certification. And if you recall, when we had all the nurses in here that day, and they talked about that bill as being a priority of theirs, that they really wanted to see, that had to do with who could perform a initial mental health exam on a patient, and they wanted it expanded to physician assistants, because oftentimes that physician assistant is the only available in an emergency department setting. So because that was prioritized by multiple people in here, we thought we should start taking up some testimony on that. And
Talking about 573.
yes.
yes.
Okay.
And I don't know, maybe we're suckers for the nurses, but it seems like we, you know,
We're very well spoken, but
Yeah.
they're.
yeah, we did a bill last year around workplace violence. And that had come from them. We like to support, as Topper said on the floor, and he reminded me of this. Schools consistently, the most well-trusted occupation is nursing.
That's right.
Yes, it is.
We love nurses.
I do too, but I do want to just be fair that we just heard from the Mad Freedom person that we didn't really hear from patients on that
Yes.
violence bill. And I can tell you that there's people who are going to the hospital now who are homeless, and when they don't want to leave because they're suicidal and cold and there's nowhere for them to go, and they get angry, they're labeled as aggressive, no trespass, and then they can't even go to the hospital anymore. So
All the more reason why we should take it up. And we obviously, anytime we take up a bill, we always try to hear from every single.
I think that was my point,
perspective.
is that I want to make sure we hear
Oh,
from the
yes.
patient perspective
Absolutely.
this time and be more careful about that.
Yeah, so we will ensure that when we start making testimony, that we invite in and hear from all.
Oh, yeah, we definitely should hear from the
Yeah,
advocates.
absolutely. Go ahead, Leslie.
So I know that for APPs, advanced practice providers, nurse practitioners, PAs, nurse practitioners have a track that includes mental health, psychiatric nurse practitioners. I don't know about PA education, so that would be something if we could take.
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, okay, so as long as that's on your list for witness.
Didn't say we're gonna pass it. We
Yeah.
may open it up and say, no, this is a bad idea, but it is something we should at least look at.
Yep.
Yeah,
And they don't do a clinical assessment.
Yeah.
This isn't that.
Yeah, well, that's the question.
We have. What else did we? There's a couple things that we had talked about that we're sort of talking about with DFR and maybe incorporating into 585. So, oh, I wanted to get everybody's thoughts on, we heard last week the prosthetics.
Yeah.
Expanding coverage for multiple prosthetics. And I wanted to sort of get everybody's thoughts on whether we want to hear additional testimony. And if that's something that we might decide to take up, we would obviously need to hear from our insurers. As it would affect benefit plans, we would need to hear from probably Department of Vermont Health Access, as it would affect Medicaid. And it seemed like the testimony that we took, that there was enthusiasm amongst the committee for maybe looking into that. So I just wanted to see if everyone still a week later felt like that was something that they wanted to do.
Yes, I do.
Cindy?
I'm interested, for sure. I'm also interested in what the testimony here was very focused on athletes. And I'd be interested in hearing about people who are not athletes, how this would affect them.
Great. Then is that a vote for we should hear further testimony?
Yeah, well, I guess. I don't want to delay it for that. So unless people feel like, we're all settled on it. It just seemed really focused on that population and I was just thinking about expanding.
Yes. Well, that's what we take testimony for, is we try to get all the perspectives and that. Go ahead,
I
Alan.
think we need all the testimony because I thought of it and that would be the toughest bill to say no that we've done here. But to say that you're going to give them, and we heard a little bit of testimony, that they would have a lifestyle, I don't think we'd be doing any justice to our Medicaid system, our insurance companies, if we provide a prosthesis for every activity a person wants to do. I don't
Sounds
think
like
that'd be
we-
very responsible on our part.
Sounds like we need to hear from those insurance companies.
And it'd be nice if we could.
And those are great questions to ask. Write your questions down that you can have ready.
I got them.
Okay. Remember, just because I say that we should take it up, doesn't mean we're going to pass anything. We could hear all of the testimony and say, well, this is a terrible idea. And not do that. So this is really just what should we focus on and what should we take testimony on in our remaining 3 weeks. Monday and Tuesday, I'm not here Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we will be doing our budget memo, working on our budget memo. That's what we need to focus on those 2 days. It's my hope that by Wednesday, we can have our budget memo done.
And then once that's out of the way, we can focus on all these policy
Once
bills.
that's out of the way.
We're gonna have a list of all our tasks.
Yes. Yes. Daisy has been, you know how like people are giving us testimony and I keep
Yeah.
going like this to Daisy, because Daisy's got a big spreadsheet on her computer and she's been adding.
I was hoping you didn't say big spreadsheet.
It's a big
It's huge,
spreadsheet.
it's huge spreadsheet. A
Everyone will
big,
get the
beautiful
vote.
spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Just like we have voted
We've done it before.
on our,
Yeah, and Karen
Okay.
and Val, we typically go through all the asks. We usually categorize them by what's in the governor's recommend, what's in base funding, what's in one time. And then we start going through all the various advocates, stakeholders, their asks. And then we will go and we will rank them. Each individual person has to rank their top, I think, 3. I think maybe we've done 5 before, but I feel like this year it might be our top 3 priorities. And then we add up everybody's rankings and those are the recommendations that go to House Appropriations.
can I say something real quick?
Yes, of course.
I was gonna point out, that's also how we got to the list of bills that Alyssa has been going through right now. And I sent this email to you all, a few weeks ago, I can resend it, but I just appreciate the very diplomatic process that we went through to decide which bills to address this year. Everyone voted on these, and then I plugged them into a little Excel calculator and like ranked them. And just really appreciate that you have allowed this process to be so diplomatic that everybody's preferences and priorities are getting addressed. It's really nice.
The other bill that we haven't really talked about, but I've had a lot of other members, other members that are not on our committee is Representative Boslin's bill. What is it? Tasha, do you remember?
In here, 724.
736.
Yeah.
Which is a bill about medications, like specialty medications that people take for rare diseases in an inpatient setting. And
We're gonna bring that up Friday.
we're gonna bring it up. I'm not even sure if it's a problem, but I would like to take testimony on it. Particularly with the many other members in the House that have expressed a lot of interest in it because they have been personally affected by it. Or members of their family.
What do you got, Cal?
What you got?
So last week I was snagged by Tina Kashaba, optometrist from Rutland.
Yes,
Did she talk to you?
I'm assuming you're talking about the optometrist bill.
Oh,
That bill is currently in the Senate and they are taking testimony on it. I suspect we will be getting that bill from the Senate. We have a companion bill, but the Senate is, I think, moving on that. So we can thankfully wait till after crossover to address that bill. Also, is the APR, Jen, is the APRN bill in the Senate, is that in hospitals? They're moving on that?
Jen Harvey was the bill. Yes, they are moving on that. They're taking maybe some final testimony next week. Likely will take action on it.
Okay, what number is that?
As 162.
Yes, and I think Representative Goldman has a companion bill for that,
Yes, that's
but
right.
in-house, so we will be getting that as well. I will tell you, we're also getting a big primary care bill.
Is there a number for that?
Senate, from the Senate.
Is there a number for that yet?
S197, but it's still in fairly early stages.
So.
Is it gonna make it? I mean,
It's fairly early.
it's late for, it's early, late early.
Right now? What time was it?
He just wants to make sure.
Where am I going? Transportation? Oh,
They won't come out.
now you see. Sorry about that. I do have something to add, but I guess I'll just.
Oh, you want to just throw out the number when you talk about it?
No, because this is only gonna take 5 minutes.
Okay.
It's just a brief bill introduction. Really just telling you.
Do we know, Jen, do you know if S142 is moving? It's the,
Oh, international.
International.
Partners.
Yes, they just took testimony on that this morning, and we'll be hearing more.
Okay.
All very favorable testimony this morning,
Except-
but waiting to hear from the board of medical practice, who did not testify today, and it's
yeah, all 16 of them voted not to support it. I've been
Yeah,
working
the Board
on
of
that
Medical
bill with
was-
Senator Harrison for the last couple
yes, and they
months.
mentioned.
Yeah, so when that comes over, I'll be prepared to give the committee a
Great,
update if we want to move it.
great. Does that mean you're reporting it too? Do I already have a
Yeah,
reporter?
sure.
If we take it up, sure.
Lots of testimony on Senate Home Law page.
Great. All right, what about 583? 583. Sorry. No, I don't know if I wanna, I'm not sure what I'm doing with 583 yet.
Okay,
Not sure what I'm doing yet.
there's been some substance on it, so I was just wondering about this.
I've been trying to find a path forward for it, and I'm running out of paths.
It's in the woods.
Yes. I'm there, wait, before you, was there anything else that we had identified?
The mental health
No.
in schools.
Yeah.
There's a bill that's currently in House Education. So we would have to have, if we were gonna take up testimony on it, we would have to have that committed to our committee. And I will, Daisy and I will see if we can maybe get it committed to our committee.
I would really like to get it committed to our committee because it was, I know, one of the committee's priorities, as it has been, of advocates that have testified this last week.
Yeah, to
Over
include
the last week. There are problems with the bill, though. I think we would need to do some work on it because we don't want to offer any unfunded mandates to the schools, of course. So we would need to do some work on that, but also we need to address the youth mental health problems in the state. So if we can find a way to do that, it would be good, but I'll try to do as much work as I can ahead of time. So that it's 0817.
I have a question about that. Casey, I haven't read the bill. I haven't read 517 in the recent, so it's not in my brain. But is there a connection with 558? That's the one we're looking at later.
Was there anything else we'd identified that were?
Facility fees. We talked about
Well, we have, in 585, we have sort of site neutral payments. So we're talking with DFR around that.
I have a
All
question.
right, yes, go ahead.
Because I was thinking of them as somewhat equivalent, but with site neutral, you don't have a solid metric, whereas with facility fees, maybe there's a more solid basis, but maybe they're a conversation you would have at the same time. Is that how
Yeah.
that would work? Okay.
Can I be Brian Gina for a minute?
Sure. Is it gonna be about AI? Okay.
What is the other
The Olympics stuff.
for AI?
Psychedelic.
Universal primary
Oh.
care.
Remember, we're getting a big primary care thing, so.
I just wanted you to be able to
Yeah.
have a moment to speak to that.
Yes, we are, I'm holding all conversations around various primary care things. But in anticipation of what comes to us from the Senate.
Okay, I would chime in on that.
I hope you all love talking about primary care because for the last 2 months of the session, you're gonna be talking about it a lot.
Good.
So I was lying in bed last night hoping I could get printout still of that meeting of the funding we just got, the healthcare. Can we still, I mean, I think you guys have the slides.
From the Green Mountain Care
The
Board?
Green Mountain Care Board meeting.
Oh, so that's another thing. Hopefully next week, did we say next week? We were gonna try to, but I'm gonna work with the Green Mountain Care Board and lining up testimony on, you're talking about what we heard yesterday around like the critical.
The one last week, the 11th, or
The
3-hour meeting they had.
Oh,
downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Spreadspace
Yeah.
pricing.
Yes.
I'll send it to you.
Okay, I guess I'd send it to all of us.
oh, you're talking about the rural health transformation.
Yes.
Oh, Natasha, that should be posted on JFC's meeting from last week. Would you mind printing that out for, who else wanted it?
Yeah.
Sorry, thanks.
Jude?
Yeah, I'll take it too.
I couldn't see the screen at last week's meeting, so I went up and I'm like, can I get a paper copy? So, yeah.
I kept
So
losing.
that's how I
it.
got one.
Now, some of that, primary care stuff is gonna be in there too.
We're gonna be, like I said, talking an awful lot about primary care. Might be sick of by then.
Well, I'm nervous about the town meetings because I don't really know what to expect.
They had,
I don't know what to.
give you what I'm gonna. Yeah.
What are you nervous about?
Town meeting.
Yeah, what do you mean, making a
Oh.
report?
Is that?
You're worried about what you're gonna.
Yeah, how
About
to
your
prepare for
constituents?
that. I don't want to misinform. I don't want to say anything. I don't want to talk too much. You know what I mean? And I don't want to talk too little. I want to give something, but I just.
Stick
It's
if you
weighing
can,
on my.
to what you know most about, and that's healthcare.
Do I know
At
much?
this point. I mean,
I'm wondering what has sunk in.
the big ticket items that they're gonna talk about the schools and the mapping and that kind of stuff. And you say it's all a
Thing.
work in progress.
There's a map on the table.
Nothing's been set up, come out yet.
I know school choice is one of the larger, we don't have to get into that.
Okay. So,
The caucus may have a summary too.
I did sign up for that. They sent.
Did it? Okay.
um. Okay, so that's sort of what we identified. I think with all of those things, it will pretty much consume our remaining 3 weeks. But what I really am interested in, because this is the last year of biennium.
Yeah.
Which means anything that doesn't make it this year, we start fresh, that bulletin board will be empty.
dead,
It's dead.
dead.
Everything goes.
Everything's dead.
I gotta tell you, there are so many things on that that I would absolutely love. As I'm going through them, I'm like, oh, I really wanted to do that. I wanted to do that. As the chair of government operations reminded me a half an hour ago, he's a former chef. When you're in the weeds, you just gotta put out tickets. And so we gotta put out our tickets as fast as we can, but we cannot do them all, and we have to let some things go as much as we don't want to. And there are so many things that are priorities to so many people. But we have limited time. We have limited capacity. So is there anything that anyone is feeling like, I don't want to let that go?
It would be nice if we could do it all. Okay. In the perfect world with money's no problem, I would say they're all important. But as a committee, we better pick and choose priorities. And you hate to say it, but when you make a decision here, you got to put a value, a money value with it. And we owe it to the Vermont people, the taxpayers. So we're trying to help, but it's not going to be easy. It's going to be.
Is there anything that you feel that you think we're dropping the ball on?
No, they're all important. You know, and to me, I guess if I had to pick a priority right now, I think this mental illness is better be addressed. If I was to give in and spend money, that's going to be where it is.
I think that I think that is a challenge that we hear over and over and over in this committee on every single subject that we bring up. And which is why, we had those kids in here this week. Was it this week, last week, this week? If we're gonna do anything, gosh, shouldn't we be helping our kids?
Yes.
I still
Why we will talk to.
I still think we're missing the boat a little bit. And trust me, healthcare is not top of my list, okay? You all know that, okay? I am less acclimated with. But, we talked about healthcare here, there, the prisons and homes. I guess I'm different than most people. I think it starts right at our elementary school. I got kids that are teachers, there's signs that go unnoticed. And when they're on notice at first, second, third grade, then it's going to be evident at middle school and higher. And then it's going to be twice as bad. So I heard a lot of it the other day, but middle school and up, I think we're missing the boat.
I don't know what you mean by you're different than other people. I mean, you and I are exactly the same.
I was gonna say, not all.
Okay, so I think everybody is, but we don't talk about that one much. There is I've coached many different levels of girls, boys, basketball, soccer, baseball. There's signs of illnesses. They go unnoticed. And then all of a sudden we wonder why they're a dropout in high school or something. I think we're missing the boat by not starting earlier.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Do you feel as though 817?
Yes.
817.
Do you feel
haven't
as
seen that
though
one yet.
Alan Demars would like to look at 817?
We just got it right here.
You just described it. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
You're my man.
You're my
Um,
man.
Be careful.
So, Leslie,
Well, here's what I worry about. I totally get the schools because it's sort of this, community and it's important and their resources. But when when we think about social determinants of health and social drivers of health, I think about the kids who go home to these very dysfunctional places. And that's a place I worry about too. And I'm not sure what the solution is, but I worry about expecting the schools to solve it all. And schools are out a lot in the summer. Kids are back in those environments. And I would like the Department of Health to do more, as a driver of health. So that's a worry of mine. I get that that's true about our schools, but it's a big responsibility to put on them. I worry about that.
But when you do that, the home life comes into play.
I hope so.
When you start talking to children, you'd be surprised what you learn about their home life.
Oh, I totally get it.
It's all one. It's not like just school stuff and that's it. It's all one.
We've also had the Vermont After Schools have contacted me and asked to be part of that conversation, part of that bill conversation.
Going beyond just a school.
I could be wrong, but I'm getting a sense from the committee that this is a topic you'd like to talk about.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we're gonna move on, 817,
No.
getting it out of that committee and in here.
Let me read it first. I just got it.
And, you can add to that,
I
also.
just got it.
We will have a conversation about whether or not we can pass it.
But maybe, if I may, and Jen, maybe you could help me. Is there a bill in the Senate that might take us beyond 817, or is in case we don't get it all done in time to help?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
80 would be the.
Okay.
80 would have been the.
Sorry, Jen.
What is it, the author, the drafter?
Drafter.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you a story.
Okay.
It's a very short story.
It's a topper story, so don't forget we're online.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's changing.
He's modifying.
Rerouting.
I think it'll be all right. We talk about young people and the mental health problems that they're having. Yes, we figure out how to read. I go to a place. And at that place, there are a lot of elderly people. And what they talk about is how they're feeling and the change that's come in their life and the anxiety that that's causing and the depression that that's causing. And it's for a variety of reasons. Have I got enough money to support myself through the rest of my life? It's really, I won't say it's unbelievable because it's happening, but the stuff that is brought up in those conversations says to me anyway, that the elderly are in crisis as well. So,
So, all
and
right,
we can't, like you said, we can't do everything for everybody, but whatever we do, let's do it well. Let's do it right.
okay. So let's on with that. Is there anything? Brian, you're back just.
Well, there is something, and I didn't want to leave.
Well, wait a
You
minute.
don't
I
know what
wanted
it
to,
is.
I wanted to give her the opportunity to, you had your hand up
Okay.
before, was that,
But I think you covered it. It's primary care.
Okay. yeah,
Or
we'll
you'll
be
be,
discussing it a lot. Okay.
Yeah, I don't mean to cut ahead of anyone either. It's just if this is the last call, then I want to make sure I'm online. So,
Go ahead.
okay, it's my turn, all right.
Yeah.
So the only thing that we haven't discussed that I have to throw a pitch in for is the clinical psychedelic bill that's in our committee. In the past, it went to Human Services, and I think it's because it was framed as a substance use disorder treatment related issue. And I'm wondering if it ended up here this time, because the understanding is that it's broader than that. And also the trend is going to be towards co-occurring disorders being in this committee. And it sounds like we may not choose that, but AHS told us they're treating them in a more unified way. So it's weird to me to be continue splitting it. However, the number is 859.
859.
Yeah, so 859 what it does is it's called an act relating to psychedelic therapy and clinical drug development trials. The first part of the bill builds, so for those who are new, Vermont created a psychedelic therapy advisory working group. And that working group met for like half a year and issued a report in November of 2024. And they said that they weren't ready to recommend any action at that time. But if you look at their recommendations, which are referred to in this bill, in the findings, that further study was needed and that there was promise. They didn't say like, we shouldn't do this. They just said, we're not ready to take action on anything yet, and we need to study it more. And then as usual, the legislature didn't do anything. So what this bill does is it picks up where they left off and it says, let's continue studying it, but let's also take some action because there's been some breakthroughs since. So it would recreate the working group as a board, and it would empower that board. And I won't give a walkthrough now, but like it empowers that board with certain action steps, which it would be nice to be able to do a walkthrough so people could consider this. It does add a new section, which is for Vermont to enter into a partnership with the Texas Consortium, which is 13 states led by Texas that are currently trying to get the FDA to allow clinical drug development trials for ibogaine, which is the medicine that I was able to take in December that really changed my life. And so my hope is that whether it be in this committee or in Human Services, that this bill be considered, because it's the potential of these medicines like right now we're at a point in history where we're seeing a peak of trauma, a peak of mental health issues, like a peak of substance use disorders. And some of these medications, when you look at the research and their effectiveness, one dose is enough to change the course of a person's life versus putting someone on a drug, and then they're on a drug for like the rest of their life to not take another drug. So anyway, that's kind of my like sales pitch for it, is that we take testimony on it and perhaps we decide, this needs to go to or leadership decides this should go back to Human Services because they're the ones who passed the original bill, not us. Or maybe leadership decides it gets done here, but it may sound complicated, but it really is taking a step forward on something that the body already decided on. It's not like we never did this before. We did it and then it kind of stalled. That's my sales pitch.
Oh, can I just ask? I realize that work has been done previously on it.
Mhm.
But typically when we take something up, we have to start the work all the way at the very beginning. You feel as though with the time constraints that we have in 3 weeks with the other things, do you really think we would have time to?
I feel like we would be rushing it if we tried to do it, but on top of everything else we're doing. I think if we weren't trying to do so many other things, it would be okay. But to me, now if Human Services could fit this into their schedule and they didn't have to reinvent the wheel because they did it before, I would prefer that it go there if it meant action would happen. Because in the Senate, they're going to go to the same committee. And I think that what happened, just to give people more background, what happened in the past is it came out of the Senate from Health and Welfare and then got sent to Human Services. So the same Senate committee is going to get it in the end. So I think the question, and if it doesn't make it this year, it won't be the end of the world, but that's another year that goes by that Vermont falls behind because 13 other states have joined together in these clinical trials. So, it's like, once again, it's not the end of the world. It's just sad because there's so many Vermonters who have benefited from this medicine. Like there's a man who is willing to testify who had brain cancer and his brain is regrowing. Like it really, for some people, not everyone, it can be miraculous. So yeah, it should be in the menu.
When was the last time you said that came out of Human Services previously? How long ago?
In 2024, Jen could always confirm this, but the report was in November of 2024, which leads me to believe it passed in 2024, and the effective date was July 2024.
Certainly look into it.
Katie wrote this one. Yeah, I'm sorry, Katie wrote this one, sorry.
Yeah, because this does the things that the clinical trials would be looking at treating mental health conditions, like severe depression.
Depression,
So-
trauma, PTSD,
That's stuff like
suicidality,
that.
addiction,
Yeah.
all of it, co-occurring disorders is really how we need to think about it now, because they're often co-occurring.
I definitely would support this bill.
When did Texas start this?
They just started they passed their bill last year, and they're on the verge of signing a contract with a developer now. So like this consortium, and what's interesting in Texas is it's a Republican state, and this was led by Republicans. So I have.
What, is that interesting to you?
It's interesting because you would think that some people question why Republicans would support psychedelic therapy, but when you look at the reason why, it's because it's an effective, cheap way to cure addiction.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's a cheap, natural way to address it.
It helps people.
It helps them fast, and it's cheap, and it's natural.
Why wouldn't anybody support that?
Because they get campaign donations from pharmaceutical companies. Not to make it like that.
No,
Did that
I
become a
think-
crap? Yeah. That's
They will look at THC as therapeutic because the pharma is so powerful, but
Or people judge. They think drugs are bad. Like they think if it makes you have a psychedelic experience, it's bad. I would say it's harmful if it's done the wrong way.
That's
Yeah.
why we need to regulate it.
Well, at least in this case, yeah.
Would you mind if I checked in with the Human Service Committee to see what their capacity is?
I would like it if you did that.
Yeah.
I would like it if you did that, and
I
then
would
we
do
could
that.
decide what. And if we were going to take it up here, I could talk with witnesses to make sure it's as efficient as possible. Like we don't take it wouldn't be like, lots of excessive stuff. We could really whittle it down to who do we really need to hear from, because it passed already.
Yeah.
It's not like, and we could also, I always want to put this out there, that if the clinical trial piece is too controversial, we can always ask the working group or the board to study that and come back in a year with that. You know what I mean? So there's a way to like take the controversial part and hold off on that and move forward with the study part. Anyway, there's more I don't want to take up time now on it, but there's more to be heard about this, because it's not just Ibogaine. There's the VA is rolling out. Do you need some medicine?
No, I just sneezed in my cold.
Bless you. No, the VA is considering rolling out pilot projects in some of these medicines now. And Vermont has a VA, so there's like potential there too, So anyway, I guess, Chair, if you can talk to Human Services, that'd be great.
I'll be happy to do that.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
There's a $300,000.
Opioid settlement, yeah.
Yeah, would you be able to do this bill without that?
I think that the compromise here would be to remove that part of the bill and roll it into, ask them to work with the Opioid Special Fund Abatement Committee, the OSAC, to come back in a year with recommendations on investment.
Okay.
That would be actually, I think we'd have to be honest, I don't want to short circuit the process. I think the only way this is going to fly is if we do that at this point, because the OSAC is coming to the floor in a week or so. So for us to try to change that is going to be controversial. But if we say, hey, next year we want the OSAC to consult with the Psychedelic Therapy Board and come back with money, it delays our participation by a little, but it's not, we're still moving forward with the planning, because it would also give the Psychedelic Therapy Advisory Board time to work with local providers to figure out who's willing to do the clinical trials.
Okay.
Okay, anyway.
Thank you
To
for
our
that.
Human Services. All right. Leslie?
On another topic, if that's okay. I was just going through the Senate Health and Welfare agenda for next week, and it turns out that Rare Diseases Day is February 19th, and they're taking testimony. So I don't know if it'd be relevant to 736.
What are they taking up testimony on?
It just says Rare Diseases Day, Carolyn Sheridan, National Organization for Rare Disorders. So it might be a way to get at the information we were wondering.
When are we planning on doing that?
Was that out of what? The 7:36. 7:36 was Friday morning.
Friday, and you're telling me that the
Thursday.
Thursday?
And it may not be in person, so, it could be Zoom, who knows? It's a national organization, so.
Yeah.
Let me talk to the, bill sponsor. Maybe we can move that to, I mean, if they're in the building, might be nice.
We chat out one on Thursday anyway.
Okay.
Do 7:36.
Okay. All right, well, let's talk about that for Thursday. All right. Anything else?
No, but thanks for letting me make the pitch on that one.
You're welcome.
Remember that number?
8:59.
Thank you.
Oh, there is one more thing. No, I'm kidding.
So this is just for an advisory board, correct? So it's, you're not asking to make it legal prescribed. What are you asking for in this bill? I'm trying to.
What the bill does is it doesn't legalize psychedelic medicines. It has the board explore ways to safely implement clinical trials in Vermont. So like what I'm getting at is like it's not like it legalizes it, like you can go to the store and buy them. I don't think that's what I want for
No.
these. It would be more like a doctor isn't going to lose their medical license for doing a formal clinical trial and studying how it helps people, and then writing papers, and then people getting like help in Vermont through those means.
Okay,
In the hope that someday that it will be a therapy option here. You know, that you can, when you're like if you at end of life, you can get mushroom treatment, or you know, if you have trauma, you can get, or psychostimulant addiction, you can get, you can get ibogaine treatment. Are you laughing at the thought over there?
Let's.
thank you.
Mushrooms on the brain.
A lot of that going on now.
Yeah, it's very.
For some future conversation, Brian, and maybe we need to be offline, but I just wanted to think about what clinical trials in Vermont means. And that's a complicated question. Clinical trials in and of themselves have a certain model. So just wondering, that makes it harder, almost a bigger hurdle.
But I think Brian's talking about going in with the consortium that Texas started.
Okay, because I was just looking at the beginning part of it. Clinical trials in Vermont is what it says.
Yeah. The idea is that people in Vermont can get it here and not.
Participate. Well, get it, but anyway,
Well, we could always explore this.
Buy it.
okay.
Yes, that's what I mean. Get treatment here, not get it.
Yeah.
Because you can get it here now. It's just, it's unsafe if you don't have a person who knows what they're doing.
Yeah. So, but that's different than a clinical trial.
Okay, let's table that.
Yes.
We obviously have lots and lots of questions, which is why I'm thinking this is a lot of time. And I'm not sure we in House Healthcare have the time, but let's talk to our guys down the hall. See what their capacity is. Okay. All right, thanks everyone. We're